So, hi everybody, welcome here. We usually start with a guided meditation, or we do it today also. So we sit comfortably, closing our eyes, and just landing on this spot, so to speak. And this time we will start by having the attention. We put in the tension on the heart chakra. I think you know the place, in the middle of the chest. We just have the attention there gently, not focusing, not concentrating. Just being there gently with the attention. Doesn't matter what happens around, thoughts or whatever coming. We're just gently, softly being there in the heart chakra with attention. And now we enter the non-doing meditation, which means that we just allow the moment to be exactly as it is. Everything is welcome to be exactly as it is in this moment. We don't have any ideas how it should be. We don't push away anything. Everything is allowed to be as it is, with things coming and passing, including sensations in the body, sounds, experiences, emotions, and thoughts. Everything is welcome to be here and just noticing it passing away. But we are not interested in this. We're not interested in anything, but we allow it to be here. Even thoughts are allowed to be here. We're simply not interested in them. We don't push them away. We're just sitting here, Allow this moment to be exactly as it already is, not interested in anything else at all for the moment, and doing absolutely nothing. And if thoughts are arising, we just let them be there. We're not interested in the thoughts, but we don't push them away. Everything is allowed to be exactly as it is in this moment. But we are simply not interested in it. It's the same with emotions. If emotions are rising, we don't try to fix them. We don't try to run away from them. We don't push them away. We don't ignore them. We just simply let them be. Even emotions are allowed to come and go as everything else. As sensations in the body, memory pictures, lights, or whatever happens. Everything which is coming and going in this moment is allowed to be here. We don't do anything about it. We stop all search, not trying anything. We are sitting here, not interested in anything specific, and doing absolutely nothing. Okay. It's gonna take 1 or 2 minutes to come out of meditation. So, okay, friends of the truth, it's time for some kind of evaluation what we have been doing the last 6 months or 1 year. It's one thing to come to this harmonious place during meditation, this non-doing meditation. And people are different, of course. We see different things. But most of us have very good state when coming to this meditation. Whatever it entails, beautiful state, harmonious place, joy, peace, whatever it is in your case. And then we have the problem that we come out from meditation and see that the old thoughts are grabbing attention. We have been looking at this, and I'm just looking at the list here because I see that not any new people today, so we can go a little bit more quickly. So you know by now that the main problem that you're not seeing oneness, that you are not living in oneness, or the oneness state is not a living reality, is more correct to say, is because there is a strong belief in separation. And separation means, of course, duality, and oneness is non-duality. So the belief in separation is a hindrance. The belief, the thought of separation is a hindrance. Not to see the oneness state which is already here. You're already totally liberated. But it's not seen because of the strength or the power of this belief in this me, this separate me, belief in separation. So we have been looking very much, especially in the individual sessions, on this separate me belief. Something which is quite radical at the beginning, but we have made a journey together. Or we have actually, all of us have agreed when we're looking, when doing the journey together, making the journey together, we had agreed that this separate me, the belief in a separate me, seems to have no ground. We have been looking at the idea we have about ourselves, negative beliefs about ourselves. We have seen it's of course different in different people. Everyone is unique here. That's why we had individual sessions. And all of you we have discovered together that these ideas about ourselves is not true. Whether you have the idea I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of happiness, I'm not worthy of enlightenment even, whatever how it looks, I'm a loser or whatever. We have seen together that these ideas is not true. But it has not been enough. This is the evaluation now today. It has not been enough for the shift, you could call it, for the shift to see that reality is one. We have also looked at who is thinking, and we saw that we couldn't see anyone, any persons actually creating the thoughts. But then no shift to oneness came. We looked at the idea of a chooser, where we think that we have free will, that there's a person who can choose, decide. We looked at it together in individual sessions and we agreed, all of us actually. Little protests, but after some time agreeing that I can't see that there is any me here, any me inside me, so to speak, so who is actually choosing anything? So we see that there is no chooser, there is no decider, there is no person me deciding anything. And still, no shift to oneness has been made in, I would say, most of you. It's not, I'm not talking about everybody here. In the big group, people are living in oneness. In the big group, there are people enlightened. But in also quite many people still, in the group of 100 people, there's still people who have not seen, is not living in the one state. And we have to ask us why. We are working with it. We are looking at this separate me belief. We looked at the controlling me, the idea that I am in control, I can control, I have to control. And we saw together that there was no me. We couldn't see any me controlling actually, because controlling is also thinking. We couldn't see that there wasn't any me creating any thoughts. That's why there is no me making any decisions. There is no me controlling. But even if we saw this together, still, there's still no one seen. And when we went to the doer, the personal doer stuff, we saw together that it seems to be that there is no personal doer at all. When we looked together, we agreed. I can't see any personal doer. And still, no shift to oneness. Now we went to the perceiver, the belief in the perceiver, someone who's perceiving this, for instance. Visual experience, for instance. And we saw when we looked together at, we take away the personal me stuff, this experience is still the same. So the experience doesn't care, so to speak, if there's a belief in a person looking or not. Still no shift to oneness. Then we looked at the idea about the belief in the thinking about the future. The future is not so good and so on. For me, of course, the thought is it's not so good for me. We looked at this and we saw that actually no one can say anything about the future. The thinking mind is just trying to help us by basing its advices about the future based on past experiences. And we saw that it's just nonsense. We cannot, we just feel bad when we believe what the mind says about the future. And still no oneness was shifted in most people in the group. And we went to the idea that I have to, I must, I need to. And we saw that, of course, that is based on the idea that there is a me here who is a doer and must do something. And we saw it is not simply not true. And still no shift has come to oneness. In some people it has come, in some people not. And we have to ask us why it is not coming. So what, has it been in vain? Has this work been in vain? No, it has not been in vain. It has not been meaningless at all. It has been a beautiful work that you have done. Because every time we look at it, every time we look at the all these kind of me's, that is flowing by from morning to evening, 100 times, 100 roles of the me from morning to evening. We have been taking away some charge. It's about taking away the power of the me belief. We can't discuss the me belief on the thinking level. The me belief is so strong. It was planted there when we were 2 years old, around. It has been planted, it's been there since then, the whole life. And is reinforced every day. If you look at our life and be a little bit honest, if you look at it one day, you will be amazed that the whole day is circulating around this me. We're not aware of it usually. It starts in the morning. I am hungry before even the eyes are opened, and continues today. The victim me, the controller me, the thinker me, the decider me, the doer me, the not seen me, the appreciated me, the generous me, the economical me. The list is long. It's just changing clothes. If we look at it in our life, we will see that, oh my God, this me is here all the time. More or less. We're not even aware of it. It's just so integrated in us, in our life, in our whole system of emotions, body, and thoughts. So that's why it's not so easy just to say to the thinking mind, oh, it's not true. You just have to change your belief. This is not true. There is no person me. Okay, finished. Anyway, it would be nice if it were so simple. But unfortunately, it is not. For the reasons that we just said. It's so strongly in the system. We are just totally stuck in it. Most people on earth. And it's not when we go out from the apartment, from our house, from our home. Well, we don't have any much help from the other ones, have we? Because all the people around us outside talking to us, they presuppose that there is a person me here that should respond in a certain way as a person. So they are reinforcing, actually. They're strengthening the belief every day by their behavior towards us. Because they also, of course, believe that there's a person in them. So they expect that there's a person in everybody else as well. So we don't have any help from there. So it's going on like this. So what we have been doing by trying to attack the idea, you could say, the belief in the person me, has been to take away some charge of this idea, because we can't discuss with the thinking mind, but some charge has been taken away, but it has not been enough for some of you. That's why we have to go a little bit further to take away the rest of it. But the good news is that we don't have to take away all the charges of this me belief that it is in the thinking. It's enough to come to some kind of level. Of course, it's a bit mysterious, but it's my own experience that we don't have to take away all the charges, all the power of the belief in a me, in whatever form it comes. So we need to take away the rest to that border, so that the oneness can show itself, because it's already there. It's just not seen because of the strength of this belief in a person. So what should we do then? Well, as been said, it's not so easy to talk to the thinking mind that you have been wrong, and to replace the thought with another thought. Instead of having the thought, there is no personal me, okay, let's take the opposite. And there is There is a person me, it says. There is no person me. It will not have any effect. As our experiences. Because the idea that there is a person responsible me here, who is not good enough and have to fix life and so on, which makes our life suffering when we believe that, it has so strong power. So even if we try to replace it on the thinking level by saying that there is actually no person me, that power of that thought is so like a mouse. There's no person me. There is a person. There's a person me. You have to you put yourself together. You have to fix your life. Huh? It's so strong. It doesn't have any chance to win over that. It's not David against Goliath, unfortunately. So we have to go somewhere else. Just to try to make the shift to oneness happening. So we have to leave the mind. This is also what we have been doing in some ways. But what we do now, what we should suggest now is that we make it more intensively during one day. Just one day, not 2 days. If we say 2 days, oh, I do more tomorrow then because I have 2 days to do it. No, we don't buy that one. No? So we say, pick one day. It's a suggestion from here, of course. I'm not forcing anyone to do anything, you know by now. It's just a suggestion to pick one day. One day when you're not busy because you have to have time and to use a tool, which takes 1 minute sometimes during the day. But not a day which were quite relaxed and you're free of job and you're actually half retreat already. That is not good either, because the person me is grabbing our attention when we are in daily activity. So meditation is not a solution. We have to understand this, that meditation in this case is a trap. We are running to the cave. Oh, I don't feel good now. Probably it's because of this person me grabbed me sometime. I will go and meditate. Yeah, you feel better, of course. Because in the meditation, we feel quite good. Why? Because the person me belief is not having any power in the meditation. Of course you feel good, but there's not any solution to the problem. When you come out again, you have to come out one day. The problem is still in the system, the belief in a separate me, which makes you not seeing that you are actually enlightened. You are living in the oneness state. Already has always been, and never gone out of it. So we cannot go to meditation. We have to go to the daily activity. The shift to oneness is happening when the separate me has decreased in its power, in its charge. So we take one day, a normal day, and you know what day is most convenient for you, and you sit down as much as you can during that day. And just use this tool that we're going to describe now. You have been seeing it before, but now it's a new context. You just sit down with open eyes. Because if we close our eyes, we come into the meditative place again, and the cave, and running away from the impact of this personal me belief. Open eyes. Taking one deep breath. To avoid it become a mind game, to avoid becoming information, to avoid it becoming mechanical. So we take one deep breath, so we come closer to ourselves. And then we say to ourselves in our own language. It's very important to have the own language, because we are much closer to ourselves when we say it in our own language. And I would say, how is this moment felt? If there is no person me at all. I'll repeat it. You can test it soon. How is this moment felt if there is no person me at all? Then you just let it sink in, so to speak, and wait. This is the end of your business. Doesn't matter what happens after that. The mind will probably grab attention. Maybe it'll come in some new destructive negative thoughts around, oh, what this is just rubbish. What should you use this time for this? It's just waste of time. Whatever it comes, doesn't matter. Emotions will maybe rise, doesn't matter. Whatever happens, doesn't matter. You just do it as many times as you can during one day. Not 50 times during one hour. Okay, now I'm free. I can do whatever. That is, of course, not helping. It's quite obvious that we are going to attack repeatedly this belief, this robot-like grabbing by the separate me belief in our life. Now we have to do it by repeating constantly, attacking it, to change the system, change the program of always being grabbed by this thought. And we have done it on some people already with actually remarkable results. I'm surprised, to be honest. It could be so efficient. But of course, if we understand the principle behind it, that we are not letting the thinking mind having the power by constantly coming back to the same thing again, because we are going away from the thinking, of course. This is a principle here, which must be understood. We're going away from the thinking. We're going to some other place, because we can never win the battle with the thinking. Or you have to stop believing this. As we said, we can never win one. So we're going somewhere else. We're going to the present moment. In our daily life, during one day, we're going here and now. And just saying this after one deep breath. How is this moment felt if there is no person me at all? What may happen when you do this, and this is important, it may be resistance coming. It may be quite a big resistance coming. Everybody is unique here. So I can't say in what form it comes, but it can resist tension in the body. It can be emotions of fear. It can be destructive thoughts, or just a feeling of resistance towards this. So how do we cope with this? It's a very important place you come to if the resistance is arising in any form. And the instruction is easy, but it's not so easy to carry out. It is to feel it. Feel whatever is in the system. Feel the resistance totally. And when I say feel it, we mean not allowing it only. Okay, I will now allow the resistance to be there. It doesn't work. Sorry, but it doesn't work. It's not about noticing it over there. We have to feel it totally. We have to be one with it. Then it works splendidly. Usually it takes only a couple of minutes. It's amazing. Because that's never been felt before. The resistance is in the system, expressing itself as tension or emotions or thoughts. But that's never been felt. And now we feel it. We just feel it, totally feel it. And I will not tell you what's going to happen. You will tell me instead. Everyone is unique here, of course. But if it's arising, it doesn't have to rise, depending on every individual here. They are different. We are different, all of us. But if it's arising, then you just continue. Next time it is time to use this as a tool, you just do it. It'll continue the whole day. Then at the end of the day, well, I'm eager to hear your report. What happened? But it's important to understand that we don't have any expectations of some kind of fireworks coming or bodies trembling and crying and whatever. We don't have any expectations on anything. You just do this, and it just doesn't matter what happens, because we are taking away the charge of this separate me belief no more intensively by focusing on just one day. Now, hopefully, of course, everyone will be in oneness tomorrow, so to speak, the day after, or the same day. So I will leave open up for questions around this, or if there is any other questions. Yes, Fritz.
Yeah. So the question is about there's people try doing this, every once in a while like this. What's different about this approach? And the other question is, isn't there an energetic aspect to this me? And does it address that?
Mm-hmm. What is different here is that we are repeatedly doing it in daily life. If we do it on the retreat, for instance, when you come out from retreat, it's most people's experiences, you feel fantastic during the retreat. You love everybody, but there's no me, and so on and so on. But then you come out to daily activity again, and it seems to fade, because there's not been taken away enough charge for the shift to come. So what is different is that we are doing it repeatedly. We are, so to speak, we don't leave the mind alone. Because if we say it in the morning because something is happening, and we have the instruction that if I feel bad, it's always a personal me behind it, actually. Even if we don't see it, there's always a personal me somewhere in some form, which makes us not feel bad. So if we use this and you feel good again, of course it's good to do this because it's also discharging the powerful me belief to some extent. But then the rest of the day, we don't do it. What we are doing here is we're going further by seeing that this personal me is not only when we are not feeling good. It's here all the time. It's here all the time, even when you feel good. It's here in the morning. It's constantly grabbing attention the whole day, whether you feel good or bad. That's why we do it in this way, to cover all these instances of the me, not only when you feel good, feel bad. This is one way, one answer to this. The energetic, yes. People have different experiences of this me. For some people, you are very different here, actually. We don't think so much about it. We don't talk about it. Some people have only a small view on not very strong power around this personal me. So some people have very, very small power, actually. Maybe depending on the childhood and so on. Probably the one of the factors at least. So their me in the experience and sensation and the thought, because it's a package here, of course, is not so strong. In other people, this me is much stronger, can be very, very strong. And usually it has to do with that we have negative beliefs about this me. For instance, I'm totally worthless. And if we have this idea, I'm totally worthless, the me is so grabbing every morning you wake up. So the me is very strong in these cases. And they have, of course, people in the middle between these two extremes. But when it comes to the energetic part, yes, the me is not only a thought, it also actually an experience. I experience that I am here and I'm total loser. It can also be felt as an energy structure in the body. Feel really energy here in the upper chest. I think you could maybe have problems even breathing when this me is actually putting to attack or is coming to the surface, triggered by something, people saying something and so on. So the me is actually not only one thing. We have different aspects of this person, me, in different people. But it doesn't matter really. It doesn't matter how strong it is or how deep it is. It doesn't matter how it feels more like an energy structure in the body. It's still a belief in a person, me, who somehow is grabbing our attention from morning to evening. Whether it's good things or bad things, we still believe in the separation. The separation is I am here and the world is there. I am here and my problems is over there. I am here and the body is here. It's over there. So it's still a belief in the separation in whatever way it shows itself. So by doing this, making this very general tool, of course, it's very general. When we say, how is this moment felt if there is no person me at all? We try to cover all cases. That is also an experience here that is actually working. We don't have to make it more complicated by going to, okay, if you have this kind of me, you will have to use this tool. If you have this kind of me, the more strong one you should use it. It's becoming a very big system suddenly. And it doesn't seem to work better, actually. We just take the big way, but covering all cases by saying how this moment felt if there is no person me at all. And of course, we have been testing this and found out that this is very efficient. But it's not efficient enough if we do it once per day, and then the rest of the day we don't do it. The rest of the day, the person me is in charge. Yeah, is in charge, whatever it is in charge. So that's why we're using one day to discharge it at least one day and see what happens if a shift is coming. And it has been successful, as I said. I don't know if that is the answer to you.
Well, the thing is, how would I put this? It almost makes it sound like it's some sort of a psychological problem, that if we adjust our psychology in a certain way, then the personal me goes. So that's sort of the question why I asked about the energetic aspect, because if you're just dealing, well, if one is just dealing with psychology, then the personal me can come back. Or at least that's sort of the question. Yeah, sorry if I'm not being clear.
No. It's a good question. It's a good question, because we are dealing with two layers. Yes, we're dealing with two layers here. One psychological level and more the one more existential level, you could call it. So the psychological level is the negative beliefs we have about this person. Not question the existence of the person, but actually first we say, okay, there is a person here. We don't question that one, but now we question the ideas about this person. That is psychology. I feel I'm a loser. I can't do anything right, and so on. I don't have energy to cope with my life. I'm not good enough. I'm totally worthless, and so on. It's a psychological plane, so to speak, aspect of it. And to take away the charge of that one, which is, of course, one of the things that we do here in our activities, but that doesn't mean that the me goes away. It just means that the charge of this idea about this person goes away quite quickly and effectively, actually, and people feel much better. They can cope with life much easier. But the me belief is still there. Psychology is, you could say very generally, the psychology is based on the idea that there is a person here who needs to be fixed somehow. A person has misunderstandings about life. A person has a lot of traumatic experiences from the childhood and so on. Whatever psychological school you go for, of course, there are many schools of psychology, but it's based on the idea that there's a person here who don't feel good and wants to have help. But it's presupposing the existence of that person. And of course, we're going further. We're going beyond psychology here. Nothing wrong with psychology, but we have to see the truth, to live the truth. We have to go beyond psychology and see that is still presupposing the idea about the person me. Does this person me actually exist? This is what we see. And when we look at it, we see that this person me is a separation, separating the idea of reality. Then we have to go, then we go there first. So it's two layers we are working with at the same time. So we are going both. And we're usually going in steps, as you know by now, most of you, that it's not easy to talk about or to be open. It's not easy to be open for the idea that maybe there is no person me at all as a doer, thinker, decider, whatever. It's not easy to be open for that questioning as long as we have an idea, I am totally fucked up here inside. You just don't, you don't listen to that. It's just philosophy for you. Oh, he can sit there on this scene and talk this Advaita Vedanta stuff. I don't understand anything what he's talking about because I don't feel good. That is my reality. That is reality I want to work with. So because I want to be more happy in daily life. That's why we go into steps. First to discharge this idea about this person me, and then go the next step to see, does this me really exist at all? If we do the opposite, okay, you have ideas about yourself and you're not good enough, but this me doesn't exist. It doesn't help. It's also based on own experience. It doesn't help at all.
Yeah, it just becomes a new orthodoxy kind of.
Yeah, it's just philosophy. It doesn't, you can't take it in because you feel really, I really exist and I am worthless. Huh? So someone is coming and say, but there is no me. Come on. Go into my body and you will feel there is one. Really, really living every moment as an energy structure even. Was that answer to your comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Fritz. And we had some question here. From Kushik, how is this? Okay, if I can speak a little bit more about the feeling this moment as opposed to thinking about this moment. Yes, of course, it's very important to understand that we are going away from the thinking. We're going to the experience. That is actually the big difference here. That we're not talking about the person me here. We are doing something to get away from this, the effects of it, because we can never debate, as we said. So when we say, how is this moment felt when there is no, if there is no person me at all, the word felt can, if you feel that it's not good word for you, you can also use the word experienced if you want to. In a position to thinking. Because if we say, how is this moment thought about, if there is no person me, that nothing will happen. We will still be debating on a philosophical seminar up in the head, and nothing will happen. Because the one who is winning is the intellect. But you see, obvious, look at your life. Take any moment, take any memory you have. Take all the hundreds, thousands of memories you have. It's obvious and you're not good enough. Huh? Look at the evidence, it will say. It doesn't hear us when we say, but I don't see any person me when I look in all these cases as a thinker, doer, decider, controller, experiencer, and so on. That doesn't listen. It just tries to have arguments for the opposites. That's why we can't win it. So it's not about thinking about the moment. But Kaushik, you're right in one sense. It's a very good question, because when we are using this tool, how would this moment be felt or experienced if there is no person me at all? It can come a thought immediately. Some kind of thought which is somehow protesting against this. Or, for instance, so what should I feel then? What should I feel then if I don't believe in this thought? So there is a mind taking over again. And as we said before, it doesn't care. We don't care what the mind is doing after you have done your business. When you have used the tool coming to the end, you just sit and wait, and it doesn't matter. So if the thought is coming immediately after 1 second, oh, so what should I do then? How should it be felt? Blah, 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 blah. What kind of feeling should I have? What should I see? And so on. Doesn't matter. We don't care. The effect is already there, even if it's just 1 second, half a second. I think the Indian mystic Bhashya said something, split of a second is enough. Split of a second, you can see something. So we don't care what the thinking says. We just do this, use this tool. If we feel to do it, of course, it should be something that you feel drawn to. I'm not the boss here. It's just a suggestion that you feel you understand the principles and you feel, I'd like to test this. Please do. And we had also, if the person me disappears, then what remains? Yes? Yes, Ram. If the person me disappears, then what remains? The thing is, there have never been any person in me. So we just take away the idea. We just see how it is when idea is there. The experience is still the same. If you look now, Ram, if you look at the screen, when you see the people here in the Zoom meeting, and if you just experiment, just an experiment. If you, for instance, how would this experience be looking at the screen? How would it be if there is no person me? If you're continuously looking with your eyes, you're looking with the eyes and you have a visual experience. You see the screen with these people on the Zoom meeting. Then just imagining, trying to see, how would this experience be without a person me? Is the experience gone? No. The experience is not gone. It's very strange. Huh? We have the belief that I am looking at the screen. There's a me here. Huh? The belief is I am looking at the screen. And then we just imagine how it would be if there is no me looking. And the experience of looking at the screen is still here. It is You see? Yeah. It is as if the looking at the screen experience is doesn't care, so to speak. It doesn't care if you believe that there's a me looking or not. The experience is still here, but there is no one experiencing it. Can you see this, Ram?
Yes.
It's not easy to see. It's more of an experiment here, but it will be more clear, of course, with time. So the experiences and the me is not, there are never been an experiencer. What is here is a sense of being here, right? A sense of being here, sense of presence. Sometimes you can call it awareness or something. Sense of being here, and then there are things coming and going. And there's a belief that I am having these experiences, I am owning these experiences. Oh, but it's not true when we look. So the experiences will not go away when there is no me. It just be the same because I've never been an experiencer. But of course, it has to be seen like this, like this. It's not a thought. And that will be seen. Maybe by doing this for one day, it will be seen more clearly. Who experiences life in the absence of the person me? Yes, that is an interesting question. If there is no experiencer, who is experiencing life then? Well, the question presupposes there is some kind of who. So is there any other who then? We take one away and then there's another who behind it. Or who? Oh, I have been here all the time. Is it to me? Maybe ad infinitum, we take that one also, and there's another one behind it. No, the truth is, and now it's a little bit more of a theory maybe, but it will be seen with time. Everybody, every one of you will see this as a living reality, even if it's not a living reality just now. As the experience and the knowing that it is here is the same. To make it less complicated, we take the metaphor of the ocean again. You are the ocean. And the ocean is showing itself as waves. And the waves are still the ocean. It's not two. Reality is one. Ocean showing itself as waves. The ocean in its depths is the stillness that we see in the meditation, and also most of you now have in the background in daily activity as well. Some kind of silence there in the background. This is a silent aspect of the depth of the ocean. And then the ocean shows itself as waves, which means that this being, the sense of being, which is on the we see in your meditation, is not separate from the story. It actually is the story. So the being is showing itself as this deep silence, which you can see in meditation and in daily activity, maybe also in the background, and also at the same time showing itself as phenomena rising and falling. But that's not all, of course, because being, it knows that it exists. Satchit Ananda, Satchit. Being, it knows that it exists. It's not only being or presence or whatever you call it, awareness, consciousness. It also knows that it exists. If you use the word awareness, you could say it's aware that it is aware. It is aware that it exists, but not as an object. I know it sounds a little bit philosophical, but you will see it in direct seeing later. So the being is here, the reality, or what you can call it reality, but also knows that it exists. It's not dead. It means that being is always aware of itself and not as an object. We usually have the idea that there's a seer here, someone is aware of an object. I am aware of this object. It's two. But here we can't apply that because being or presence or reality, it knows at the same time, it's quality of being that it knows it exists. So they are one. You can say it is a knowing by identity. Some people have used that word. It's quite good actually. It's a knowing by identity, not by having a subject-object duality relationship. I don't know if you can follow this, Ram. I think you can. So it's a knowing by identity, which means that the ocean knows, so to speak, it knows it exists. And the waves, which is the ocean expressing itself as the waves, of course it knows the waves as well. So everything that is coming has this knowing component in it. It doesn't care if it's on the silent aspect, knowing it exists, or its moving aspect. It's still a knowing. So being knows also all the experiences, the content of the experiences, whether it's a feeling, a thought, or a sensation, or whatever it is. So the knowing component is there all the time. And of course, this is also our experience. If you go more concretely to our own experience, we not only know this experience of sound coming from this voice. You have a sound experience just now. It's not only the sound experience is coming into you, you also know that it is there. Otherwise, it will be no experience. So the knowing is part of the experience. It's integrated into the experience. We only when we talk about it, it seems to be two, but it's actually one. The phenomenon itself and knowing that it is there is the same. So there is no experiencing in that way. It is being which is showing itself as this moment, knowing it in its content. I don't know if that's a good answer for you, Ram. Or do you want to protest?
I got it.
Okay, got it. Good. It's a little bit philosophical, I know, but actually, it is a direct seeing. In the liberated state, it is seen like it is like this. Being and knowing what is in the moment is the same. They are not two. Quite mysterious when we talk about it, but in the realized state, it's totally natural. Okay. Something else? And Kushik, was it okay, this answer you gave?
Yes, Chris, that answered my question. I just wanted to make sure that I do not get caught up in thinking. And that's the reason I wanted to your comment on that.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you get caught up in thinking. It doesn't matter at all. You just use the tool, and that's the end of your part. What life is doing,
Yes.
it doesn't matter at all. Because
Yes.
the effect is already there. We are fooling this intellect. Ha. Too late. Now you can come in if you want to. But it doesn't matter because I've done my job already. And the charge of this
Right.
person, me belief, has gone down a little bit more. A little bit humorously put. You see the point? It doesn't matter. You are just using the tool as often as possible during one day. And I'm eager to hear the report from all of you who wants to do this, of course. And as I said before, it seems to be extremely powerful because we don't leave the mind alone. Okay, he can question the me belief in once in the morning. I will be the boss the rest of the day. It's just 1 minute. I have the rest of the 15 hours and 59 minutes. I have the power. Now we don't leave him alone anymore. No, going on. It's a little bit of propaganda, brainwashing or something. Taking away the old program, which is so habitually robot-like, coming to the surface. And it's not so easy to question it because, oh, now it's coming again. Okay, now it's coming again. You know, we get headache. If you're gonna question the belief in a personal me, it's a full-time job. You cannot do anything else, and probably you will be very tired in 10 minutes. This is how the grabbing, but you can look at it and you can be amazed. But oh my God, now the me belief is here again. It's not shining. That is the problem. It's not shiny. It's not me belief is coming here. Or I can just ignore it or work with it or something. It doesn't come like this. It is there in the background. They're not clearly seen at all, but it is there. Every whole life is circulating around it. That is the word circulating is quite good because if you want to go into me more deeply and really see how it is grabbing you, you can use 1 hour. Is this not coming now? I don't know where from where. You can take 1 hour if you have a little bit hesitation about how much the me is actually controlling your life. Take 1 hour. Just look. Look what is happening. Oh, what is lying there on the table? Huh? I am curious about what is lying on the table. Uh-huh. One me coming. Oh, I feel hungry. Oh, I feel hungry. That's me coming again. I will go out and eat. I will go out and eat. And then you're sitting and eating. I'm eating. Uh-huh. A new me. Huh? It's amazing. How many seconds during the whole day are you free from this me belief? Consciously or unconsciously there? 2 seconds? Meditation, maybe. That's the only time. That is only a break from it, so to speak. The meditation has other functions, of course. Of course, we have been talking about this. It's very important to meditate. But it's not solving the problem of the separate me, which hinders us from seeing that we are already living in oneness. Any other questions? So, Kaushik, do you want to say something more? No?
No.
No, okay. So next Saturday, we will be leaving for Sri Lanka. So we will be in an airplane during this time, so we cannot have this meeting, but we will have it ordinarily on Wednesday before, and we will also have the Sunday meeting as before. So there's only one day next Saturday because we are traveling to Sri Lanka. But we will say this also on the Facebook. We'll say it on the WhatsApp group, and we'll say it on the Skype group as well. So you will notice. And for those who are not having in this group, you know it now then. Maybe we can take a couple of minutes just to be in silence together. Thank you for today. Okay, thank you very much.